Welcome to your Engineers Week Solidworks experience. So let's have a look at what we're going to model up this morning. We're going to model up this iPhone stand and manufacture from some acrylic here in the lab this morning. So if we just look at what we're actually going to manufacture, it's just a simple stand made of two components, a back plate and a foot plate as well. So let's look at these two components and let's start a new part file and hit OK. So first of all, we do here, we're going to start with a sketch, and we use the sketch command here and we pick any plane. Let's pick this top plane back here to sketch a two-dimensional sketch on. So we're going to sketch on this, and this is the origin here, and we want to sketch around this origin. If we have the sketch tab selected up here, we have all these sketch tools, and we're just going to use the center rectangle. If we move the cursor down, we'll see a really small rectangle tool, and we're going to wait till we get that orange dot and draw the center rectangle about the origin, not worrying about what size it is. We're going to head up then and select the smart dimension. We're going to come down and pick the top line to dimension it, and we're going to make it 80 millimeters long. And the side line here, the height, select the line again, left click to drop it down and type in 150, enter for the side. We can roll out the mouse to see the component. So that's the basic shape. When we're finished sketching, we can exit sketch up here on Solidworks, and we can see sketch 1 now has been created. Now we're going to go to this feature tab, and we're going to extrude boss base, and we're going to select our sketch 1 that we're after sketching to extrude it, to give it depth, and we're going to make it 5 millimeters deep. And we can see the thickness here in the preview, and we can select OK. So that's the basic shape there, but let's put a few fillets on the corner first of all. So we're going to do some fillets. There are small radiuses on each corner, so we can leave them at 10 millimeters if that's what you want. Pick these edges, rolling in the mouse to select the edge of the component, this final edge here. When you're happy with that, you can see the preview. You could change the size if you wish and hit OK, the green tick. Next of all, we're going to do the small cutouts. So I'm going to do a quick sketch, sketch again, and sketch on this surface. So straight onto that surface. And again, I'm going to use the center rectangle tool. I'm going to place the rectangle roughly in the spot I need it, and then go back up to my smart dimensions. I'm going to give it a height of 4.7. I'm going to give it a width then of 15.1. And then we need to place it. So I'm going to reference the origin here. Center to the center. And move up the dimension. And it's 20 millimeters. And again, the center to the center. And bring it across. And we're going to leave that at 65 millimeters. And that's our cutout. So I'm going to exit sketch. And I'm going to use that sketch to actually cut the material here. Features, and this time it's extrude cut, and instead of going blind, we'll just do it through all. So it's going to cut through the whole part and hit OK. So that's one of the tabs done. We're going to mirror this cut across to the far side of the component. You can see over here, this is our component and the different features that build the component. So this cut is what we want to mirror. So if we come up here to the mirror command in features, the mirror face plane is a plane down the middle of this component, and since we drew in the origin, we're going to have this plane here called the right plane coming down through the middle of the part. And then the features that we want to mirror, we can pick them off this list, is the cut extrude 1. And there's our second cut, and we can hit OK there, and that gets us our two cuts. If any time we want to edit this part, which we'll do in class, we can select the cut and change these dimensions in order to move the dimensions to wherever we want to move them. So let's take a quick save there on that, and we're just going to call that whatever name you want, iPhone stand 3 or 4. It's pretty good to go. So we're going to save the part. That's it, saved. And we're going to move on now to the second part, the back end of the stand, and it's going to be the same again. A quick preview of it here. It says the back piece, and then it has two lugs coming out the front here. So let's go again, new file, part file, and hit OK. I'm going to do a sketch again, a sketch, and we use the top plane again and the center point, and again any size. Go to smart dimensions again and make the top 55 and make the side 60. And we can roll in and out the mouse to look at it, and we can hit exit sketch again. And it's the same dimension again, features, extrude, and it's 5mm thick, and hit OK. Now we're going to add on the extra 2 bits at the side, so we'll do one at a time. So we can do a sketch again on this face, and we can do a center rectangle, and if you just come down here roughly, pick a center point and drag it up to this corner, it's going to work out good. And again our smart dimensions, we're going to put a length on that of about 20mm and a width on this of 15, I think it is, and OK. So that's the tab we want to add on. So we can exit sketch, and again we use features and extrude and flip the way it goes, and it's 5mm down, and hit OK. And we're going to do the exact same technique. We're going to mirror over using this middle plane. So see this plane here, it's going to be the mirror plane. If we pre-select it, Solidworks knows we want to use it. We'll hit mirror, and the features we want to mirror are our boss extrude 2, and we can see a preview of it coming up here, and select OK. So that's the modeling done. We'll just add maybe a few fillets to this. We'll just add them on the top side here, this time pretty small, 2mm maybe. Here, here, and at the back as well maybe. And select OK. And that's that part done. So again we want to save that part. OK, and we'll save it as 04. Okay, so that's the back piece. So let's now put these together. So what we do when we put these together is a new file again. And this side, instead of a part file, we use an assembly where we bring a number of parts together. So an assembly file and OK. So the command we use, we'll see the parts coming up here on the left hand side of your screen if you still have them open. So let's bring in the back plate. And in addition to that, insert component, we'll bring in the foot plate as well. So the 2 components brought in. And simply all we're going to do is we're going to mate them together. This is the mate tool. So it's like gluing the parts together. So we're going to mate this back surface and this surface here, and it glues them together. And to get the height right, we'll need the bottom of the back piece with the bottom of the slot. Now in order to get left and right correct, we're going to use the work planes that we used for mirroring earlier on. So this right work plane here on the large back piece, with the right work plane here of the small back piece, and you can see the parts lining up and squaring up together, and we can hit OK to that. So that's the components assembled. So you can check angles, check fit, and add any extra components that you want to do. So that's a quick modeling of the parts. And ask me any questions here in class, and we'll go through them with you. And let's send these files now to the laser cutter and cut them out.